Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kezia. If you're new here, welcome. It's always good to have you here. Today, I'm just going to discuss something that has been on my mind for a long time now. So last week, I was watching a video on YouTube and this person was just talking about their experience and talking about how they usually struggle to get things that people would get easily. In the video, they kind of spoke about how they had been rejected on so many occasions, and I totally can relate with this, to be honest. You know how you get that email every day, like, unfortunately, you've not been selected for this job. Unfortunately, we've decided to go for someone else. Unfortunately, this and that. And it just feels like every time everyone goes through so many levels of rejection. And I'm just going to admit that everyone who goes through rejection knows that it is very, very hurtful. It is something that hurts you to your bone marrow because you feel like, why me? Why am I always like getting rejected? Maybe in a boy girl situation, you're trying to find love and someone rejects you. It doesn't even have to be the case of relationship. It can be friendship. Maybe a friend rejected you. You've been friends for so long, and then they just cut you off, and you just feel so rejected, and so on. Everyone goes through the rejection phase at least once in their life. So, like I said earlier, it really, really hurts to be rejected. And I'm here to tell you today how to deal with it. So, the first thing I would say is that the earlier you recognize and accept that rejection is a part of life, the better it is. For me, for you, for everyone. I tell you, when you see like 10 people, at least one person has been rejected somehow before. If you've never been rejected before, I congratulate you. But if you've been rejected before, just know that it is a part of life. It happens to the best of us, the best and the best and the best of people. They have been rejected before. It's not the rejection that matters. It is what you do with the rejection that matters. So that's that. The second thing is to acknowledge that you've been rejected. Because if you continue to live in denial, if you continue to feel like, no, this has not happened to me, you will continue to feel dejected. And acknowledging helps you deal with all the emotions, helps you deal with all the feelings. For some people, they write, for some people, they cry. It's okay to cry, deal with your emotions, let yourself break down. If you want to break down, if you want to cry, if you want to write, the earlier you deal with your emotions, the earlier you start to get better. If you want to pray about it, pray. For me, I go through. It depends on how big the rejection is. That's what determines how I deal with my rejection. I have been rejected once before, like that was in the past, and it took me a long time to overcome it. I kept there was nothing I did not do. I cried, I wrote in my journal, I prayed to God, I did a lot of things before I could get over that rejection, before I could move on. And there's nothing bad about that. Do whatever it is that you feel is the best thing for you to do. Talk to people, however way you want to deal with it, deal with it. The next thing I'll talk about is resist the urge to blame yourself. I know it happens sometimes that when things happen to us, we start to blame ourselves, forgetting that some things are just not meant to be. Sometimes you put in a lot of effort, you do so many things, you go like 1,000 miles for people, for things, and then they will come back to say no, they don't want you, they don't want what you are giving, that they don't want what you are giving to them, they don't want what you are proposing to them. It's not about you. Sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes some things are just not meant to be. So there's no reason to blame yourself for anything. If a friend lets you go, let them go. Don't force. If you apply for a job and they said they've gone with someone else, fine. Don't blame yourself. Your CV might be the best, and they will still find a way to say no, they would go with someone else. It's not about you. Please, whatever the case may be, resist the urge to blame yourself. I know that rejection has a way of dealing with our self esteem. You start to feel like you're not worthy. You start to feel like you're not good enough. You start to feel like some things are not working out for you, and it's because of something that you did. Please don't blame yourself at all. Don't even think about it. Don't blame yourself. Um, when we are deep in our feelings, in our emotions, it is easy to start to think about ourselves and start to think about what is wrong with us. So if it's a situation of the relationship, maybe a guy rejected you or a girl rejected you, you start to think about yourself, you start to look at yourself and feel like, oh my, I don't look good enough, I'm not beautiful, I'm not handsome, I am not worthy of love, things like that. You please don't let yourself go down that hole. It is not worth it. If someone rejects you today, another person will accept you tomorrow. Whatever the situation may be, please remember that you are worthy. You are not hopeless. You are deserving of love and you are good enough. The next thing I'll talk about is reflecting on your journey. Sometimes getting rejected would mean that you have to go back and reflect on the things that you did not do right. Because I know I spoke about not blaming yourself, but sometimes while you're not blaming yourself, you're also doing a kind of self appraisal. So if you applied for a job and you got rejected, getting rejected might mean that you have to go back and look at your CV, you have to go back and look at your cover letter, you have to go back and maybe just do something better in the application process. That is not you blaming yourself. That is you trying to set yourself up for better opportunities so that when other opportunities come, you are in the right space to get them. So reflect on your journey, reflect on the steps you took that led you to where you are currently. So walk back, take a look at all the things that you did, and if there's anything that you did wrong in the process, this is the time to work on that. This is not a time to blame yourself. This is a time to try to make yourself better. If it's maybe in a relationship, you were in a relationship and you did something wrong that led to you being rejected, maybe someone broke up with you because of something bad that you did. This is not the time to blame yourself. This is not the time to start going around and saying things that you should not be saying about yourself. This is a time to work on yourself, to reflect on yourself, and just make things right so that when the next person comes for you, you are in the best position, you're in the right frame of mind, you are at your best for the best that is coming your way. Because trust me, to every rejection, something big is coming. So if something does not align with you today, something greater is coming on the way. That's what I believe, actually. That's what I believe about myself. And where I am right now is where God wants me to be. Because as a child of God, nothing happens to you by accident. That's one thing that I know. Nothing happens to you by accident. Every rejection, God knows about it. Everything that hasn't worked out in your life, God knows about it. And we are children of God. God never leaves us defenseless. God never leaves us helpless. I'm preaching now, but I didn't mean to preach, but yeah, that's what I believe. But when I'm reflecting on my journey, when I'm trying to reflect on the things that have happened to me, I always go back to that place of believing that everything in my life, God knows about it. Think about it. If God knows the number of hair on your head, what is job that God will not know about? What is guy or girl or someone that decided that you're not good enough for them that God does not know about? Sometimes God even lets us go through all this process so that we grow, so that we know how to behave better in the next phase of our lives. So everything we go through is a lesson, and every path you walk through helps you get better. And the final thing I'll talk about is don't stop putting yourself out there. And if you're an introvert like me, once I get rejected once, I go back into my shell. Like it's not even a matter of introvert extrovert thing right now. Nobody likes to be rejected. It regardless of what your personality is, nobody likes to be rejected. And sometimes when we get rejected, it makes us want to go back into our shell. It makes us want to not put ourselves out there again. It makes us just feel like, okay, just crap this. I'm not going to do this anymore. No, don't be like that. Don't be like that. If you decide not to put yourself out there, if you decide to become a recluse because you were rejected for one position or for someone or because of someone or something, before you know it, every good thing that should be coming your way, you will be the one hindering them by yourselves. Because sometimes you have to position yourself for some greatness. You have to position yourself for some things that should come to you. Fine, these things belong to you. They are yours. Your name is written on them. But if you don't put yourself in the position to receive them, you will definitely not receive them. So don't, because of rejection, now put yourself down and make yourself sit down in your room, make yourself not go out anymore, don't apply for jobs anymore, decide not to talk to guys anymore, decide not to talk to girls anymore, decide not to just put yourself out there anymore. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Life is meant to be lived. Rejection or not, life is meant to be lived. So don't let rejection affect your mindset. Let rejection affect your strive to become better. Keep trying, keep working, keep positioning yourself for greatness. Keep positioning yourself for greatness. And I tell you, every single good thing will come your way. If you enjoyed this video, please share, please subscribe and like. And I also like to see your comments all the time. Thank you to everyone who has been commenting, who has been liking, who has been sharing. Thank you. I really appreciate you. See you in the next video.